So what kind of risks were you mitigating, or what kind of contingencies were you planning for this mission?
So, we, and Sandy can attest to this, we are really good here at Johnson Space Center and Mission Control, are really good about, thinking about the what if scenario. What would we do if this happened? Or what would we do if that happened? And we do this. That's what part of that huge planning period involves is doing that. You build a plan and then you go through and you analyze it and say, what happens if this happens at this time? And we build procedures, malfunction procedures. We build flight rules that talked about how we're gonna what we're gonna do in that situation, and then we train them. Man, when we go into a simulation, an 8-hour sim, you figure I had 12 positions, depending on what phase of the mission it was, and each of those positions are seeing 3 failures a sim. So you add that up, 27. I mean, it's a long day, let me tell you. And every sim is like that. And we did close to 100 sims for
oh wow.
One. Now, a lot of it was because our launch date slipped, so we just added more. But I mean, we are very methodical about thinking about the what if scenario, and some of the big things that we were looking at, like as soon as we launched and got on orbit, Orion deployed the solar array wings. There's 4 of them, and we looked at what would happen if one of the 4 didn't fully deploy and latch. Okay. And bottom line is we did all the assessments, and we could generate enough power with three arrays to actually do the full mission. So we were going to burn TLI with one array not latched. And yeah, there was risk there. There's no question there's risk there. But without a crew and the fact that it's a test flight, we want to get the data, we were going to lean forward and we're going to go for it. So those are the kind of things that we looked at.
I imagine it's at least in similar to my own experience, it's the different combinations of things that can happen that you have to try to figure out, right? Did you ever wake up in the middle of the night and say, "Oh my God, I just thought of this, and we haven't been looking at this particular combination or this particular risk," and then you got to write it down and think about it in the morning?
I'm sure there were times where I had aha moments, but for the most part, I think because we worked it so long and my team was so good, they were so good. They made my job really easy. And I'll tell you, so the first, this was my 5th lead flight. When I started as a flight director, it was right before we started assembly of the International Space Station. So I was first certified as an ISS flight director. So my first 3 flights were on the ISS side. For each of our assembly flights, we had a lead ISS flight director, we had a lead shuttle flight director. And the first 3, I was an ISS lead. And I vividly remember, you can ask Sandy, I am a really laid back kind of person. I would be considered type C, I would think. I mean, obviously when the pressure situation arises, I can take care of business, but for the most part, I'm really relaxed. I'm easygoing. But I remember those first missions that I was lead on, as we got close to the mission, I started having problems. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and my mind would be going 1,000 miles an hour trying to think about all the things I got to do. I got eczema on my hands. It was terrible. It was terrible. And that happened, it was a little bit less, it really depended on what was going on with the mission at the very end, right before launch. But for the most part, I really stressed over it. But this mission, I didn't have any of that. And I really think it's because we worked it so long. I felt so comfortable. We were ready, easily the year before to be able to fly this flight. And we were doing work all the way up to then because that's, you fill the time with work, right? But I think because of that, my team was so good. I didn't have any of those moments where I woke up in the middle of the night and said, "Oh, I got to do this. I got to make sure I do that."